I've spent my entire adult life chasing the next thing, just spinning. And I believe most of the stuff I've run after, oftentimes quite literally, and caught, has been good and worthwhile. A marriage to a guy far better than I deserve, a crumbling old house that I love, a job I enjoy that contributes to half of the bills, and 5 kids who fall into the same category as their dad. But it's never quite been enough. Through it all, my mind has continued to churn with, there must be something more to this, something more than this. And in the midst of all the what the heck is it that I want clamoring, I've realized that up until now, I haven't held my own role of mom in nearly as high esteem as I should have, that I've honestly taken it for granted. If anything will make you school your brakes and reevaluate, well, there you go. Maybe it's because it makes me accountable. Whereas, if we have these kids, and yes, I love them, and yes, I'm proud of them, and yes, I give them lots of hugs and ensure they're fed and clothed, but don't fully invest, don't make them the thing I did for 20 years, then I can't be terribly disappointed when they don't turn out like we hoped. Looking for value outside of raising these kids has been safe. It's safer to pursue, or at least consider pursuing, accolades and education and validation other places than to rely on these 4 little squirrels on crack. Come over at about 7:15 some night, you'll understand, and one eye-rolling preteen to define what I've done with my life. For a person who considers themselves reasonably tough, I've been half-assing one of the hardest jobs there is, looking everywhere for a more fulfilling challenge when my greatest one is right in front of me. So as I've wrestled with and tried to put a chokehold on that question of what's next, I'm finally letting it sink in that maybe everything I'm already doing in my life is all that I'm supposed to be doing, that more isn't necessarily better. That even though I have an external job title and I head out every day to make enough money to keep the pantry and closets and the "are you sure you don't own a daycare, ma'am?" garage stocked with the stuff they need and want, that mom is still undoubtedly the position with the greatest risk-reward factor. That I want to be present. That there's nothing I really want to miss out on right now, minus, maybe, post-birthday party bedtime routines / meltdowns and, potty training. That there's a high probability that more would just be more. Like, I was all comfy and cozy, and then I ate that second piece of pie, and now I kind of want to throw up more. That it's time for me to stop acting like motherhood isn't a big deal. Or worse, knowing and admitting it's a big deal, but thinking I can muddle my way through this week and next week and the week after that, promising that I'll do better in a month or during the next school year, because, hey, I have the time to make it up. I lost a friend recently at a young age, because now that I'm 37, 38 seems young. And after a conversation about how I was struggling, given this situation on top of the death of my own mother a few years ago, I remember someone saying to me, "I feel like you were doing okay until Andrea died." And I think I was doing okay. But when a person you knew really, really well at one point in your life, who you viewed through the same lens as yourself, who you saw as a peer and an equal, who you assumed had the same amount of time on this earth that you assume you have, dies that soon, you kind of go, is okay good enough? No, it's not. It's just not. And so I'm attempting to do now what I've always said I've wanted to do. Be better than okay at the things I claim matter most to me. To stop spinning and stay put. To put motherhood, and in my case, wifehood, if that's a word, because zone defense is critical in my world, at the forefront. To actually live that. It's an incredibly simple thing that's ridiculously hard. Because you have to let a lot of expectations go, imaginary and real. I've finally wised up enough to understand that these 5 hooligans have 25 plus years on me. That, God willing, long after I'm gone, more than anything I achieve, there'll be proof of a life lived well and true. It's a gamble. Being a mom is, every day. But the potential payoff, in grandkids alone, around our house, is tremendous. And for me, now, making these guys, and 2 girls, my thing I did, is pretty much the only thing that matters.